Can everyone hear me, please?
Yeah,
I can.
Okay, good. So like I said, so I'm Sam Adeni. What I'm bringing to the table is the underlying principles of software engineering. So in like one minute, let's meet everybody. Like for me, that is the first motivation. Let's meet everybody, then use another 5 minutes. If you have any questions that you just want to ask me about software engineering, about the best way to prepare to get the job and all of those things, we do that in the next another 10 minutes. Then we go straight into building the design I sent. Then I'll catch up on everyone on what we've learned during the week. Then we ask questions again at the end of the class. Then we prepare for next week. Yep. So I'm going to start from, I believe we can all see each other, right? So you can just go. First is, I find it difficult to pronounce some name. You know, when you're introducing yourself, just tell us the short name you want us to call you, okay? Okay, let's start. Who's going first? Who's going first?
I'm going first.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, my name's Brian Asingure, but you can just use Brian. I'm from Kampala, Uganda.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Who goes next?
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Brian, what do you want to take out of this course? What's your motive? What do you want to take out of this course?
Well, what I would want to take out of this course, I'm looking at future in software engineering and computer programming. That's what I would want to take out of this course. I'm actually new. I don't have any history in programming. I've just begun, but I would really want to put all my best efforts and interest in it.
Okay, good. Future in software engineering. Brian, you're my guy. And now, for me, that is what I want to make happen. Yeah. Who's going next?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Brian.
Okay, so I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Ayo. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm learning software primarily because I'm a video creator and photographer, and I would also like to kind of merge all these skills together to become someone that is truly employable in any sector with the skills I have. So that's the major reason why. And also for my personal projects where I can actually build things for myself without having to rely on a third party for any software related issue. So that's my major motivation.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Ayo. Ayo just covered everything, so I don't need to ask you any question. Who goes next?
Yeah, I'm going next.
Okay, Love.
Yeah, my name is Love David. I have my background in civil engineering, and I just realized that the future is in tech. So it's better I just align myself with what's happening right now so I can either be versatile and be employable if engineering collapses. At least tech still stands. So one way is to get into tech, and I can start with basic programming. So I see this group as the starter for me to achieve what I want to achieve. Thank you.
Okay, Love. Love, you are Goodness brother, right?
Yes, please.
Is this the picture of Goodness in your profile or you?
That's me.
Seriously? You guys look so much alike.
Yeah, I get to hear that a lot.
Yeah, Goodness is my long-time buddy. Yeah. Who's going next?
I can go next.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Kathy Thaplyal. I'm from India. I'm a freshman engineering student and I am just starting out in coding. Bye.
Okay,
Did
good.
you get that? So.
Okay, good. What should we call you?
Kathy.
Kathy. Okay. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, who is going next? Yeah, who wants to go next? We still have Grace, we have Debbie, we have
Hi,
Mic
I'll
check.
go next.
Check.
Okay,
Debbie,
can
you
you hear
can
me?
go.
Yeah, go on.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Debbie.
I'm Debbie. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. Though I'm studying a tech course in school, but I really feel I want to build a career in tech. Like, but I'm not studying computer science, but I started coding a few months ago, but I'm enjoying it. So I see myself building a career in tech. That's why I joined.
Okay,
Thank you.
who goes next?
Mic check.
Okay, check.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So my name is Mukasa Akram, as Arya described by Sam. I'm a software engineer, and I do Python, I do Angular, I also do React, actually. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to give a hand. I'll be your learning facilitator. I'll be trying to help you. Grace, kindly mute. I'll be trying to help you in case you have some bugs, in case you want to learn something, in case you want some inspiration. So I'll be here to help you in any way, anytime. Yeah. So 3 things. 1, software development needs self-drive. Software development needs commitment, and software development needs the love. If you're here for the money, it will be so hard. You need the commitment, because things are going to, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy, no, but yes, you can do this. So you need the love, you need the commitment, and the self-drive. Thank you so much. Hoping to see you more and learn more from you.
Okay, who goes next?
Hi.
Good morning.
Okay.
Okay, Grace, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is
Good morning.
Grace. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I want to major in front-end development because I feel, and I want to be distinguished because I feel a lot of people are going into it. So I need a lot of skill sets to make me distinct. That's why I'm here.
Okay, great. Who's next?
Good morning.
Yeah,
My
morning.
name is okay. My name is Bumi. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm currently a digital strategist, and I just discovered that the tech guys are the in thing, and because they are almost the most important thing right now. So I want to be globally relevant and then get a new job in this industry. So we're here to stay. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Who's going next? Esther?
Good morning, guys. My name
Good
is
morning, Esther.
Esther from Kenya. Esther from Kenya.
You're welcome.
I started coding like a few months ago, so it's a good program. That's why I'm here for mentoring. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to achieve out of this coding thing you started a month ago? What's your plan?
What I want to achieve, I want to be like an intermediate when it comes to front end development.
When it comes to front end, so Grace front end, Esther front end, awesome. Probably I'll get back to that where I asked everybody what part you want to major in. But even before majoring in everything, let's use this course to grant everybody everywhere. So you can now put your strength. Who is next? Karungi. Did I get that correctly? Is that Karungi? Hi, everyone. Please just correct me if I'm wrong, yeah?
Yeah, it is Karunji. I'm Karunji Lydia.
Okay,
I'm
Karungi.
I'm a software engineering student, and I hope to get a lot from this course and improve my skills. I would like to become a full stack developer.
A full stack developer, awesome. Karungi full stack, Brace front end, Esther front end. Okay, who is next? Love it.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Your money.
Sorry I came late. So I wasn't able to get the categories, the full stack and the front end and all that. But why I joined this class is I'd like to learn more about coding, and I think that's it.
Okay, learn more about coding. What do you want to do after that?
Probably get a work on it based on that.
Okay, good. Get employment on it. Okay, so someone just joined. Yeah, he has not been in the group. Yeah, he's my boss actually. So he's here. We call him BF. So I'll just let him introduce himself. I think he's the only person left. Okay, we can't hear you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here, boss. Okay, so when your boss calls you boss, you know you are in for a hot seat. Okay, my name is Bia. I'm an entrepreneur, and I want to learn coding to expand my horizon and try my hands on a few projects, but also to be able to supervise and monitor what my developers are doing.
Awesome. Okay, I think we are good to go. Now, so let me quickly break it down into the categories like Lovett just said. Now, in software engineering, actually, I used to say not everybody can be a software engineer, but that doesn't mean you can't play in the software engineering space. We have BAs, that's business analysts. We have product managers, PM. We have project managers also, they call them PM. Then we have QA. Those are those that do software testing, quality assurance testing, and all of those. Then in core engineering, we have UI UX. That's the guy that does the UI UX. We have the front end engineers. Then we have the back end engineers. Yeah. So those are the kind of 8 sections that we can have in a software team. Yeah, so an agile software team should actually consist of 1 or 2 of these roles. A BA, yeah, I've known a BA, a Scrum Master, a PM, a QA, a front end, a UI UX designer, a back end engineer. So we can end up being any of this. And some of us can end up having, personally, I've done a certification in QA, not because I want to be a full-time QA engineer, but I want to understand how QA engineers operate their duties. I've done a certification in project management. I've done certification in Agile as a certified Scrum Masters. I've done front end, I've done back end. For me, is ability to understand the process of software engineering end to end. And like BF said, if I have anybody on my team that's probably slowing me down, I can just collect, for example, one of my designers is just misbehaving. I just collected the design from him. I sat down, I finished it in 1 hour, and it was like, wow. So for me, that is my concept. So we have the ability to be able to have an idea of all of this. Then we can now specialize in what we want to specialize in as we move on. Yeah, so that is that on that. So this first course of today will be extremely, extremely basic for some people. Yeah, but I'll say don't take it for granted. I intentionally want to jumpstart everybody from there so that we are all on the same page as we move forward. So we are going to be building an HTML. I'm going to share my screen now and share what we are building today. I know everybody, and please, disclaimer, I didn't prepare any script for today's class. Myself and Akram were discussing yesterday night. And as I say, I want to Google as much as possible. I want you guys to see me Google. I want you guys to see me go to Stack Overflow to be able to find solutions to my problem. And I told him, I said, even the guys that work in Google also Google. All software engineers Google. So it's not a bad thing for a software engineer to use 1 hour to Google to understand how to solve the problem and use maybe 3 or 4 minutes to write the code. So everybody Google. So that is why I don't want this to be like any YouTube videos that you go and you see the guy keep pressing computer and he's solving, and it's looking to you like a super genius person, and you feel, can I really do software engineering? You know, like I don't know much, but I Googled a lot, and I have the ability to understand how to solve my problem. I don't know if everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
please.
I can hear. Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, please slow me down if I'm too fast, please. Okay, so that, no, I didn't prepare any script. I'll just share my screen. I'll look for the design and we'll just start from there. Then we talk about the concept of, I don't know if anybody have any question regarding the basic concept of HTML, because we picked this week with HTML. We're doing HTML, we're doing the tags in HTML. Do you want me to touch base on any of those, or we should just go straight into the code? Mic check?
Maybe you should just do some brush up.
Okay. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
Yes. So this is what we are building today. I'll use just 2 minutes to just explain this. We are going to build this here from start to finish. This is actually built using Bootstrap, but we are going to start building with HTML and CSS. So what we are going to do in the next 1 hour is to cover, to do these schematics with just pure HTML. Next week, we are going to be studying CSS and Bootstrap. What Bootstrap does is, Bootstrap is a CSS framework, and it makes writing CSS extremely easy and fast because we've written almost half of everything that you need to know. We have other frameworks that we could use. We have Foundation, but I think most people just stick with Bootstrap because of the community and the support that they currently provide. So we are going to be sticking with Bootstrap. So we are building this with directly from scratch with HTML today. We built all the sections, and I'm going to be using that concept to explain everything that we've learned and just recap everything we've learned during the week. Now, the truth is, because these are programming languages, you are not expected to master them in one week, but we are expected to have the foundational knowledge of what we need to move on. Yeah, and the truth, software engineering is it's a process. You don't learn it and you say, I've known everything. Like, you keep learning, and that is what I want everybody to take away from from this program. Ability to settle down and just pick up books and learn by yourself, because the technology changes over time. Previously, way back, we used to write just HTML with Notepad++. Nobody uses Notepad++ or Dreamweaver anymore. So now we are writing HTML5. Yeah, and other technologies are coming that is going to change. CSS have changed from just CSS to SAS. Now we are writing CSS. In CSS now I'm writing code like I'm writing in JavaScript. And JavaScript progresses also. So the takeaway from this course really is ability to be able to settle down and write by yourself. So I'm going to pull up. Please, if I'm missing anything here, just draw my attention to it. Okay.
Okay.
Then if you have any question, you could just ask in the group chat. Akram will be putting an eye on that. Then you can just let me know if anything is confusing. But can everybody hear me clearly right now?
Yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
And I believe my English is clear enough.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm pulling these off now to my other screen, so I can just be looking at it while we write. So I'm going to be using that design to pull up our code. Normally, I just come to, I have a place on my system I call workspace. I come to the workspace, I create directory for the projects that I want. Just store this basic HTML. Then in my basic HTML, I use WebStorm. Yeah, we can use any code editor that we like. I know a whole lot of people prefer to use Visual Studio Code because it's free. Yeah, we can use Visual Studio Code. It's the same thing, depending on what is just convenient for you. I have the student license for WebStorm. I can share with everybody, anybody that needs it. So I'm just starting up my project. So in Visual Studio, it tells me the project, do I want to start an empty project? So I'll just pick an empty project. So if I, for example, select HTML5 boilerplate, it's going to start an HTML5 boilerplate and it's just going to give me the version that I want. But let's do an empty, so I'll just start from there. I'll pick sorry about that. So my stuff just opened up. So I'm going to be a bit slow for anyone that wants to code along. Yeah, if you want to code along, yeah, just ask me question and you do it along. Then we are recording this section, so you can always pick it up anytime. Yeah, I think Akram will make the videos available to everybody. So normally sometimes when I start a project, I first Google. For example, every time I Google, I say best practice for HTML website structure. Now, I won't want us to concentrate too much on structuring this particular project because for front-end engineers, yeah, you won't be writing vanilla HTML any longer. Right now, most of us either doing React or we are either doing React or we are doing Angular or we are doing Vue. Yeah. So, and in this course, I'm going to introduce us to all of those, to Angular, to React, to Vue. Hopefully, after this first 3 months, for people that already signify interest to be a front-end engineer, we just do deep dive into all the 3 frameworks so that we know how it works. So I'll create my first file. I create a file, I call this file. I know you've all been seeing this file everywhere since we've been writing code. Yeah, I'll call it is always HTML. We'll call it index. Index is always the first file that your web browser identifies when it goes to a particular file structure. Why? This is my index file. Now, what my web storm have done is to first write out the first layer for me. Then I'm going to explain this structure now. So I'll just give it a title. I'll call it basic HTML. Now, let me explain this. Now, I know we've all gone through the video of how the web works. What every browser, the only language every browser understands, right, is HTML. That is the way when a browser says, sorry, I don't know if my screen is big. You can see my screen, or I should increase the font size. Should I increase the font size?
Okay, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Okay, this is better, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now we have extensions. Let me just use down to explain that. But I know we all know what extensions are. I'll just explain it there. Now we have extension for document. Let me call it document extension. Now, disclaimer here, I'm not an authority in all of these things. So when I make a mistake here, just please tell me that Sam, come back here. That is wrong here, that are correct. Then we all learn from each other. Yeah, like I said, there is no script for this, no document written anywhere. So I'm not even following any pre-written script. I'm just saying what I know. So now we have extensions like, I know you must have seen this, doc. When you are writing Word document, you must have seen .ppt for PowerPoint. Yeah. Then we have .html for HTML file. We have .css for CSS scripts. We have .js for JavaScript. We have way back when we used to write ASP.NET, we have ASP.NET. We have, you can create your own extension for your own program, yeah. But this is how the web works. When your browser sees .html, it knows that this is an HTML file and it renders them accordingly. So I'll pick this .html and explain with what we have here. Now, HTML in itself, I don't want to belabor this, but because I know, say if it's too elementary here, just chat me up and say, let's move on, okay? So this is the doc type that's telling the browser is an HTML file. Now, all your HTML file is always wrapped in HTML. Yeah, so I have it wrapped in this HTML. I have it wrapped in this HTML. Then I have the header. I used to tell people that HTML document is like I'm writing letter. Way back when you write letter, you have your address, you have the body, you have the footer. Yeah. So I have the header. The header has to do with everything that is not displayed on the web. Yeah. It's not displayed on the web. It might be the address bar, it might be the title of the page. This is where you put all your meta tag for search engine optimization and the rest. Now we now have the body. The body is where all our magic happens. That is where we put That is where we put every content we want visible, our form, our table, our headers, our paragraph, all the elements that we've learned during the week. This is where we put them. So I'm going to just save this, probably to just explain few concepts. So I'm not going. These are tagged here, and I explained to people that once you open a tag, please close it. For example, if I open header, now because I'm using an IDE, you automatically close it for me. Yeah. If I'm writing, say I'm writing from my Notepad++, or I'm writing from my Notepad, I have to be closing all of this myself. So this just close it up for me. So it close my header up. I can have a section here. And here I can have another tag that I call footer. All of these are HTML5. They're all HTML5 tags. Now in my header, I can put my navigation. So it's going to have all my menus and logo. Then in this section, I'll put in the main body. Then I can now structure it the way I want. Then in footer, I put in my footer stuffs. Okay, cool. So I'll display, we've all seen the design and the layout of the design. So I'm just going to drag it in again and explain a few things about this. Then I'll be designing this, then I'll be using it as touch point for every other concept that we've learned during the week, so that I don't labor us. Now, if you observe that I'm not writing CSS at all in this for now. Yeah, so the CSS can come up probably when I'm trying to round up. I'm just trying to start. Now, if I may ask, okay, Pete, I think Peace wants to say something. Hi, Peace, you want to say something?
No, he's trying to join.
Okay. Okay, so we like I said, I'll just go through the structure, the way this structure is. I'll go through the way this structure is, then I will explain as I move on with the tags. So now if you observe, I want to pick my marker. Those ones to draw it out. Yep. So we have this. Yeah, we have this guy. Can everyone see what I'm drawing on the screen?
Yes.
So we have this guy here. There, which is more, then we have another guy. I'm trying to, sorry, please, I'm trying to pick different colors. So we have this other guy here. I want to just explain how we can just structure. Then in here, where we have the logo. So this is going to bring together everything that we've learned during the week. I have the logo. And they can all be divs, like they are all divs, really. So let me use the same. I have the search bar. I have the menu. Yeah, then in the menu, I have an icon that I'm calling, I don't want to use the same color, so let me just look for a different color. I have an icon that is for the cart. So this is like an e-commerce website, and it's a live project already. If you go to merchlist.co, you are going to see it. So this is the first version. I think on the website currently is like the second. Yeah, like the second version. We are working on the third. Now, then I have a banner. Then I have this banner. Yeah, I know we've not done styling, padding. Then when I go down, I have this other section here for product category. Then on my product category, I have the section for, the title. Then I have another section for view all. So inside that div also, I have another section that actually holds the category. Then in this box that holds the category, I now have another sections or other divs that are now holding individual category. Then inside this, I now have one div first, that is this guy. Then inside I have this that is holding the icon. And I have this that is holding, yeah. So I'm going to stop here. Like I'll see how far I can go. If we can stop here and everybody can understand this, then we can all just complete the designs later. So I'll be coming back here, go to the code, come back here. So we're just going to first group our sections, then we'll display it. So I'll go back to the code now, clean up everything that I've written, then we start explaining how this works. So I'm trying to drag this back here. Okay. So I need to drop. Oh, this is going to stay on my screen forever. I missed that. Okay, before I remove the annotation, I think the annotation wants to stay on my screen for the rest of this view. But do we understand the way I structured the page?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I'll go back. I'll just do a screenshot of this page. Yeah, I'll do a screenshot of this page. Then we can keep coming back to that screenshot as we move on. I'll just do a screenshot. Yeah, so I'll be displaying the screenshot. Okay, good. So I'm going to be displaying the screenshot. I'll minimize this. Then I'll clear all the drawings that all the annotations I've done. So I'm just going to clear all of them. I'm just going to play on the drawing. Okay, good. So let's go to the code. I want to move the drawing here that we've just done now to, yeah, I want to move it to the other monitor. Okay. Okay, so I'm clearing everything inside this guy. So I'm starting like this. Now this, I won't do too much of HTML5. I'll just do the basic of how to structure this. Then we view it on the web browser and see how it looks. Then I'm going to be doing all my coloring, all my stuff. Now we have 3 ways of imputing CSS. I know we must have seen, I don't know if you've read that in imputing CSS, either you are doing inline, or you are writing it on the file. I'm going to demonstrate all of this when we get to CSS, or you have your CSS as an external file that you're bringing into your HTML. So I'm going to work on my file structure. Most time, I like, let me write it here, this will be big. I like having a folder where I call source. This folder have everything HTML. Then I have another folder here that I call, some people call it resources. Now, it's not cast in stone. Some people call it assets. Yeah, it's not cast in stone. This asset always used to have a CSS folder, also a JS folder. Then your images, you need to put your images somewhere. Now, you can create as many folders as you like, depending on how you feel about your structure. It's nothing cast in stone. But when we get to Angular, or we get to React, okay, React doesn't have that kind of a structure, but Angular has a better structure. Angular has a structure of doing things. So once we get to Angular, you can now start seeing those structures. So I'll come here. Since I don't need all of this, I can just come. I'll leave my HTML where it is. I can come here and create a file, a directory I call this. Then I can move my HTML inside. So I can move it inside the source folder. Yeah. Then outside the source folder, I can now have the rest of the guys that I want to have. So you can even do inside your source, you can come inside your source and have assets, have your CSS folder, have all of those things, depending on how you want it. But I'll just stick to this. Let's just do HTML. So I'll come to this list. Remember, I have one part at the top here. So I can come and create, I'm not going to do core HTML5 where you have header here, then you have main, you have left, and all of those things. I won't be doing that. So I'll just do street. I'm going to start with street div, use div to partition everything, then start again with sections. They are just almost the same thing. Just makes your code more readable. So I'll do div. I just want to start with div, then we start fine tuning that. I'll do div. So this div I'll just do is going to be my top notification section. I'll do another div. I'll call it this div is going to have my logo and menu. I'll do another div. We can translate all of these divs to sections later. This is going to have my banner. Then I'll do another div that have product category. Then we can stop there. Let's see how much concepts we can that have product categories. Yeah. So let me start from the banner. Then I'll save it. Then we'll go. So in this banner here, if I'm bringing in my CSS class, I'll write this guy class. Signifies I'm bringing in CSS. If I want to do inline styling, I'll do style. Yeah, if you observe that my IDE is actually suggesting everything that I might need here. So it doesn't make programmers look like geniuses when you see them write code. So depending on the IDEs that you are using. If you use a very good IDE, it identifies and tells you the probability of what you might need. Now, so I'll put style here. This style here is what we call inline CSS. Inline in the sense that I'm writing it inside the elements I'm trying to start, and we're going to see how that works. The other one is I can come here, for example, and do style. Yeah, and put all my style inside of that style. Yeah, so that's the two way. The other way is I can come, for example, come to my source and create, like I was saying before, create a folder. I'll just put them outside so that there's transparency. I'll call it CSS. Sometimes some people call it style. I'll create a folder called style, and I put all my style inside. So I can come here and create a new. If you see what my IDE is doing, it's suggesting what kind of file do I want to create. So I create a CSS file. Now CSS has gone beyond just writing CSS. We now have less. We have SAS. We have the other SAS. They are more like CSS compilers. They make it your CSS more readable, and they give it more structure instead of just writing CSS. So I can write CSS in a place, and I can use it in several places. So once I edit that single place, it's reflecting all of those places. When we get to Angular, I'll dig more into this. So I don't want to call this index because I'm using this to start. Normally, when I write pure CSS, I want to title the CSS the name of the page I'm trying to start, so that this is index. So when another developer is taking charge of this code, when it says index HTML, it's going to see index CSS. So you know that the style there is there. So I can bring in this index here. Yeah, you call this guy's name. Most time, it depends on how you intend to structure your code. Yeah. Like this, you can just Google it. Who have an idea of how I'll bring in my name? Who can just tell me what to write, so I'll just write it. I want to bring in my CSS style. Let me see if any of us have done that.
HRF, am I right?
Is that HRF? HRF is going, yeah, HRF, yeah. You are experimenting, don't worry. Let's make as much mistake as possible. Yep. So now, let's now talk about folder structure. Remember, let's now talk about folder structure. So I want to access this HTML file. I want to access this CSS file, but the CSS file is inside a styles. Oh, I need to rename this. Probably I need to call it styles. Sorry, this is just for readability purpose here. This is not going to be having just one. Yeah, so now let's talk about file structure. Or if I come here now, this is my ref. Inside my HTML file, I want to access my index.html file. Now my index.html, my index.css file is inside a folder called styles. So if I want to access this here, because this folder and my index.html are on the same level, yeah, they are all inside the source file, which I call SRC. Yeah. So the first point I should access first is I should be able to access the style folder. So I'm typing the styles folder first. Then slash. What do I want to access inside the style folder? I want to access the index.css. then the index.css. So for example, I'm going to move them out. If I move, for example, I want to move this. Okay, don't let me move it. Let me just create at the same level. I'll just create another style. So let me just call this new. Just observe what happened now. You can see that my new, I don't know if my project structure is visible for everybody, or I need to increase the font size.
It's visible.
It's visible.
Okay. Now you can see that my new CSS is in the same level as my index.html. If I want to access my new CSS now, and I do link, and I go by what is Ayo that said this is ref, right? I don't know if it is right or wrong. Yeah. But you can see my IDE is pointing directly to my new CSS. Now, because they are in the same level, I don't have to access the folder before I access it. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you are accessing anything in the folder, you first access that folder before you go inside to access the document you want to access in it. Then we have another one, which is, I just want to use this as we go on to just cover accessing files in your file structure. So if, for example, I'm taking, this is here, I want to take I want to create, they are still inside the same place here, but I want to create a new directory here. That I'll just probably, let me call it HTML. Now, and this is perfectly possible here. You can structure your file this way. I call this HTML. I'll come into this HTML, I'll create a new HTML file. This is just demo. I'll say new HTML. So in this new HTML file, just watch me here. In this new, remember, now I have two directories. And please, I'm going to be using directories and folders synonymously. Yeah, I have two directories. So I have HTMLs, I have styles. Now in my HTMLs, I have this guy, new HTML. And in my styles, I have index.html. So I want to access index.html in new HTML. So if I come here and do link, let me increase this guy. If I come here and do link and do ref, yeah, say, first it's taking me to the one that is in the same path with it. Remember, I'm inside HTMLs and new.html. I need to do // yeah, meaning I'm going outside this directory. Yeah, I'm going outside this directory. That is what this means. Yeah, I'm going outside this directory. And if I'm going outside this directory, I can access my new HTML. Yeah, but if I want to access what is inside my styles, I come here and do ref. You can see that I can't access styles directly. Even my IDE is not letting me do it. So I need to do, first come out of that directory. Coming out is this, .. and the level. If I do styles now, it's going to give me my styles folder. I don't know if this is clear enough. My check, I don't want to assume it's too elementary.
No, it's not too elementary.
But is this clear enough?
In one sentence, can you just come again with why it's not accessing the styles directly and it can access the new CSS directly? Just
okay. Now let me go back there. Let me just delete everything here. Let me explain my file structure. I'll do it this way. Let me come. I have to remember. I have this big file. In this big file, I now have inside of this src, I have HTML. Please, I don't want to if I'm signing from fusing here, just let me know. I can now retrace my step, then probably ask him to explain in his own words. Yeah. You can see that in here I have this. Yeah. Then in the same level, I now have index.html. In the same level, I now have CSS, new.css. But inside my HTML, I have another file that we call new.html. Then inside CSS, we have index.css. Yeah, good. So I'm inside this part. I'm in new. Yeah, but I want to access something that is inside styles, for example. Yeah. So before I can access what is inside style, I need to first go out from here. Yeah, because this is covering this place. So I need to go out. Can I see up arrow? Let me just use this guy. So I need to go out. So going out from, because I'm inside new, and new.html is inside HTML's folder. I need to go out of that HTML's folder to be able to access any other thing outside the HTML's folder. I don't know if that's simple. So I'm inside new. Yeah. To access any other folder, I need to go outside. So anytime you are going outside of the folder, you have to do this. So if I do ref, I don't know if this is supposed to be ref or source. So if I do ref, I want to go outside my HTML folder. So I'll do ... slash. So I'm outside the HTML folder. Now, because my styles is in the same directory as outside, I've gone outside. Now, if I do style, I have access to, if you observe, when I'm outside HTML, I only have access to styles. I have access to HTML, index.html, and I have access to new, right? That is it. So once I go outside, I have access to those. But if I'm inside, I have access to only the stuff inside that folder. So if I want to access index.css now, I need to now do another slash and do index.css. Yeah, don't worry, this will become clearer as we use it. I just want to use this to explain the concept of file directory and how we bring in CSS into our HTML as we move on. So I'll leave this the way it is. So I'll come back here now. So I'm bringing in my HTML, my styles here. I'll just leave as we have. I'll leave this guy. Then let's now style the first page that has blue. I know we've done this in HTML, so I can come here now. Now inside my div, I want to give my logo another thing. Then I'll explain the concept of. So I can call a class here. Now you use class sometimes to differentiate your divs, yeah, and to just style them. So I can call this guy a logo class. I can call this guy class, and I call this class my top. I can call it my top header. Yeah, inside my logo, I'll bring in my logo. I know we've looked at how to bring in images during the week. So I'll create another div. So once I'm done with this, we display it on the page. I'll create a class and I'll call this search. Remember, my class holds my CSS properties. So I'm going to explain that in a bit also. Then I'll come down. I also have a place that kept my menus. I'm not using nav now. I'm just using div. I just want to let us know that most of the other concepts store things for us. So I'll call this now. I'm going to here. I'll leave these ones to where they are. And in HTML, this is how we do comments in HTML. Yeah, this is proper comments in HTML. I don't know if we'll come across that. You write, so this is how we comment in HTML. So I'll just come here, I'll do logo. I'll come here, I'll do search. Then I'll save it and display the page. Then we'll now start styling. I'll come here, I'll do menus. So I've saved these now. Remember, yeah, I'm saving these inside my source file. Some of us have what we call live server on our local host, on our local machine that can save it, but I won't do that. I'll just go to the directory. So I'll go to the directory. I'll look for my source. Then I'll look for, this is it. You can see the way it's showing now. It's showing that I can open these on my web browser. Sorry, it's open in another one. I'll just drag it. Yeah. Can you all see what we have?
Yep.
We now have the logo, the search, and the menus. But this is not exactly what we want. We want them to be beside each other, right? So this is now my logo, this is now my search, and this is now my menu. So this is where your CSS comes in. But because we've not done CSS, I won't even talk to that part. So now this is to tell us that anytime we are using divs, yeah, divs, what this does is partition layer by layer. Let me show you something. If I want to just do now, let me repeat this step. I right click and I did inspect. So you can see my file structure is here now. This is my header. This is my, you can see my class, my top header is here. Everything I've written in my code, I can track them. If you observe, and this is the point, you can see when I click on logo, it stretches out from the beginning of the page to the end of the page, right?
Yeah.
When I go to search, it stretches out from the beginning of the page to the end of the page. If I go to menu, it stretches out from the beginning of the page. So that is what your div does. Your div is like a section beginning to the end of the page. Now, let's experiment something. We've all done span, right? Span tag. Yeah, so let me use that to explain span. Then I'll come back and show you something. So I want to change my logo div now. I want to change it to span. I want to change search to span. I want to change menu to span. Then I want to refresh my page. Then you can now show me, tell me what different is happening. Can we see what happened now?
Okay.
Now, what it simply means is anytime you are using div, you are using div to completely separate sections. Like, oh, this is a block, but I want to write some set of code inside. This is another block. I want to write some set of code inside. But if I want to write code inside the same div, the same section, the best thing to use right now is for me to just use span. Now, when we go deeper into CSS, I can now use CSS to rearrange everything that I'm doing. So this is this. So I'll leave the rest of this in span. I'm using that to show the differences between D and span. Remember, when you open a tag, please make sure you close that tag before you move to the next one. So I can come inside my style. Yeah, pardon me for those that have not done CSS. I can now give it background. But I just want to use this to differentiate all the parts that we have. This is going to be strictly inline. I select the color of the background. Now, we have color tags in CSS and HTML. Please don't try to cram any of these color tags. Yeah, you can, for example, let me even make it more practical. I'm looking for that color here. I can go to open and do HTML color codes. So I don't have to bother myself trying to do. I can do HTML color code. So they call them X color code. So this is white, this is black. You don't have to cram them. They are everywhere if you need them. There are color pickers also available on the web. So you can use color pickers to pick colors. So if I want blue now. Now remember that the guy that does the UI/UX is going to provide us with all these colors that we want. So I'll just come here now. Yeah, let me pick. Yeah, I copy this color code. I come to my code. I do. So let me explain this. I paste in my color. Let me explain this. When you have an element, yeah, each element has attributes, and these attributes has values. So for example, I have a class attribute, and I'm putting in the values there. I have a style attribute. But when you are even doing styling, styling in itself now have its own attributes pattern, which include background, which is the attribute, and the value.
Mm-hmm.
So for CSS, when we go to for CSS, we now see. So CSS, this is now background. Background is an attribute, then the value is this. So I'm saying this is my background color. Sorry, someone is calling on the board. So I'm saying this is my background color. Now that I've given the background color, just let's see what happened to our HTML. Okay, this is my HTML form. I'm just going to refresh. You see what happened to my div? It gives my div that color that I need. Is everybody with me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it gives my div that color that I need. But this is not the height, nor the width. This is not the height or the width. So what I need to now do is give it this height and give it a width. So I'll come. Now that is why learning HTML and CSS kind of get interwoven. Like previously, we used to write all of this in the table. So you can use table structure to write a full web page without writing CSS at all. But I don't want to take us back to 1970. Nobody does that anymore. And that is why I want to write minimal CSS, then use that concept to explain CSS and the rest. So I'll go back here now. I'll go back to the code. I want to give it an height. Now, this is just more like I'm speaking my normal English. I do remember for every attribute, if you're adding an additional attribute, you need to end the previous one with a semicolon. So I'll come here and do my semicolon. I'll come here and do my semicolon. Now I want to do height. What height am I looking at? So I do height. When we get to CSS, we now explain the concept of minimum height, maximum height. So I do height. And remember in web, we either use pixel or we use, I'll explain that fully in CSS. You can either use pixel or you use EM to style your pages. And I'll explain why you need to choose between EM or you choose between pixel. So for now, we are using pixel or true. So I'm going to give this guy, you can see, or I'm going to give this guy 200 pixel. Yeah, so if I come back to my view, let's see what happened in my view. I refresh my page. You can see I have 200 pixels, but this is extremely too much for what we want in our design. In our design, we want it to be flat. So that's going to be like 50. So I'll do 50. And this is how you do it. If you don't have design, ideally, the UI UX guy uses the measurement for all of this. You can see now I have exactly what I want. But if you observe, I want to pick my annotation, right? If you observe, I'm having these pages. Can we see these red lines I'm drawing?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having this line, this space, and I'm having this space, and I'm also having this space. Don't worry, we take care of this soon. When we get to Bootstrap, you just think I'm over punishing you with all this explanation. It will become extremely easier because Bootstrap already done all of this. But I want to just explain the concept so that we get it. So let me get rid of my annotations. Okay, so I removed that. So I have this now. So I'm left with styling. So I'm left with styling logo, styling my search, and styling my menu. So let me just go back and write that. Now observe something. Top. I want to do top. Yeah. And I want to say my top should be 0. Sometimes when you use 0, you don't need to put anything, but let's just put pixel. I'll put pixel. I'll come back here. I'll refresh my page. You can see it's not doing anything because this is kind of stuck here. This is what my HTML can provide right now. We're going to do core CSS and remove all those blank space later. So what top actually does is top moves you to the top of the current parent that you are in. I don't want to do too much. I should put it on my body. So let me just leave it here. So let me bring in, who remember how we bring in images? How do we bring in images? What is the task for bringing in images?
IMG.
IMG, what next? What next? What next? Is everyone there?
SRC.
So I access my images, but I don't have any image. Let's quickly do something. Let me quickly create insert this guy. I'm creating and I'm calling it images. Let me go and look for, let me just go and look for an image on the web. So I'll just go to the match list and probably steal the image there. So if I want to pick this image, I can just do copy image, or save image as. Let me save the image in my image directory. So I'll go to here, I'll go here, I'll go to HTML, I'll go to my sources. Remember, I'm putting my images in my image folder. Now, okay, also, this is, so our image will either be a CSVG or a JPEG or a PNG, depending on what it is. And I'll explain why we've adopted SVG recently. It's always cleaner on any resolution, depending, because now we are not just developing for web, we are developing for both web, we are developing for both web, and we are developing for mobile. So we just want to make sure that even when you're on mobile, the crispness of the image is the same thing as when you're on a very large screen. So I'll go back to here. Because I want to access my image here, I have to do images. Yeah. Why am I doing images? I'm doing images folder first because my images folder and my index.html folder are inside the same directory, they're in the same level. Then I'll do my image here now. Okay, so I'll do logo.txt. Yeah, I need to close this. I'll do this now. If I refresh my page, we should see the logo. The logo might be very large or very big. You can see the logo is extremely large. It's bigger than our spot. And meanwhile, my logo is not supposed to even come here. My logo is supposed to come to the next line, considering what I have in the design. So logo doesn't come here, people. So this is my top banner. My logo doesn't come here, my menu doesn't come here. I'll leave just it's fine. I'm deleting everything. I'll just leave this there. Now remember, this is what we are building. Let me drag it in here. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
So this is what we are building. So this should be first opening days, delivery days, yeah, and all of those things. So that's what we should bring there. So I'll just come here now and I can do this delivery days. I'll put this guy. Then I'll just copy what the delivery days are from the email. It's the opening hours, Monday to Sunday. I'll do opening hours from Monday to Sunday. Just ignore it. Now, you need to do exactly what the designer have done. So if you see, this is just far to the right and the color is black and is at the top. Yeah. So what I'll do now is I'll check the design again. It's supposed to be at the middle. Now I have Monday to Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's supposed to be at the middle of that particular day. So let's try all that. Monday to Saturday. Then the roads, the time, 9:00 a.m. to, I don't know what time is there, just pardon me, p.m. Now let's now style it. Sorry, how many of us covered CSS over the week?
I did.
Okay.
I did too.
Okay. Who again? Who again covered CSS?
I did, but I didn't go in so deep.
Okay. Okay. Who again?
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay. Who again? You know why I'm asking this? So that I should just combine the two together now so that I'll use a touch of HTML to explain CSS so that I don't get you guys completely lost. Then if my explanation is too elementary, you guys should just let me know. Then if it is too advanced also, just let me know. I want to be able to keep it in the middle so that we all save our time. We have like 30 more minutes to the end of this class, and we've not even done the page. Yeah. So welcome. That is why for me, creating time to learn all of this during the week is very important for us. It might look so difficult now here, but it's not this difficult. Okay. So let me do this now. So I'm doing style. So we are going to be doing inline styling throughout. So because I want to style opening hours separately from Monday to Saturday time, and I want the span to be in the middle. So what I can do is padding. Then I'll explain the concept of padding. Anyway, once I do padding, it will just explain itself. Remember, let me show you something so that we are on the same page. Remember, remember this is what we have. Look at where my opening hours is and the font. My opening hours is the far right, far left, and at the top. So what I want to do right now is I want to now apply padding. Now, you know what padding is, right? Padding means, please, who can explain padding to me for those that have done CSS? Has anybody read the concept of padding in CSS?
Yes, I guess so. I think padding is, let me just describe it like if you increase the padding, the fonts, it will actually decrease the text or the element. I think, I don't know if it's useful.
Is it the font? No, so padding is, see, I have an element here. I have this element. So padding is I'm creating space. I'm creating space around the element. I'm creating space around the element. Within the element, then we have what we call margin. We explain margin. Margin is I'm creating space outside the element, space outside. Padding, space inside. So now I want to give this guy 20 pixel padding. Then I'll now explain what padding is again. So if I refresh my page now, can we see what happened? It has padded it up, left, right, and the bottom. So that's what padding is doing. So I'll bring my design back because I'll bring I don't want to touch stitch. See what my design has here. The padding up and down is the same thing. The padding up and bottom is the same thing here. But because by default, HTML starts up down. So my padding up should be more than my padding bottom. So I can now give padding. So let's do this. Then I'll do a short form for that padding again. So this is padding bottom. You can see I can do my padding. Let me start with my padding left. Is this. Then I'll do this guy. I'll do padding top. I'll still give 20. Then you can help me see if anything changes. I'll give padding right. I'll still give 20. Then I'll give padding bottom. I'll give 20. Ideally, here, my editor is going to tell me that I can combine all of these into one. Now, why am I repeating it? That is why those ones are underlined. So if I come back here and refresh this page, you can see it's the same thing. Yeah. So I want to reduce the padding button. So what I'm going to do for that is this. I'll just come here and do 0. Observe what happened with my padding button now. You can see my padding bottom goes up a bit. Now remember, in padding, I can give negative value. Yep, so let me see if it's going to work. Yep, if I give negative 5. I'm giving negative 5. You can see it don't work. So I just lied. Yeah, you don't do negative padding. You can't give negative value in padding because padding is inside the element. So there is no way to do negative value. So I'll go back here now. But I want the padding top and the padding bottom to be the same thing. So what I need to do is take back this to 0, increase my padding top to 5 to 25, then I refresh my page. So they are looking very close, but in my eyes, they are not close enough. So I'll just give this guy 28, for example. Then I'll see what happens. Then I'll do this. Yeah, I'll make do with this. Now I have this padding left, padding top, and padding right. Yeah. Now we can optimize this. We can optimize this. Instead of writing padding left, padding top, padding right, and padding bottom, I can just use one single line of padding to write it. And I'll do that now. So because it starts, when I'm combining padding, or I'm trying to combine or write a shorthand for attributes like this, it starts clockwise. So I'm going to start from, if I made a mistake, you're just going to say, I'll do padding. So the first one is going to be my top. The top is 28 pixel. I'll do a space. Yeah. The next one is going to be my right. My right is 20 pixel. The next one is going to be the bottom. The bottom is 0 pixel space. The next one is going to be my left, and my left is 20 pixel. So I'm going to delete this first line. So I'll just save myself 4 lines of code in one line. I don't know if this is self-explanatory enough.
Yes, it is.
Let me come down. Let me come down. And let me come down. So I just saved myself 4 lines of code. If I go back and refresh my page now, if I go back and refresh my page, you observe that nothing changes, yeah? Because I've written a shorthand for that. So if I'm doing margin or I'm doing padding, yeah, remember it's always clockwise. Top space, right space value, bottom value, space, left value. So that is how this works. Now, I want to style the color of my font. So I'll come here and do color. Remember, this is just simple English. Then, and I said, don't try to cram it. Yeah, white is always FF in 3 places. That is white. I'll close it up. If I come back and refresh now, you can see everything has turned to white. Yeah, but because this is not exactly the same font, we are going to ignore the font now. When we get to CSS, core CSS, it's going to be part of what we are studying this week. We're now building how to install font in our HTML font. So I'll just go back here now and do my font size. I want to increase my font size. Now, font, you have font size, you have font family, but I want to just increase the font size to, let me increase it to 16 pixels so that we can see the difference. I increase this guy to 16. You can see it doesn't make so much difference in what I have. You go back. Now, okay, so don't let me put this one here. Let me just use this to style my div. Then I want to now style the content inside my div, which is my span. So I'll do style again. So font size, let me do 20. Now I've saved that. I come here. you can see my font size has increased. But I feel this height is too much compared to what we have in the design. So I'm going to reduce the height that I have here. I'm going to make this guy 40. Remember, once you reduce the height here, it's going to definitely affect your padding. Because if I say this guy is 40 and I want to give you an inner space, there is no way I can give you an inner space of 20 up and 20 bottom. Because if I do that, it simply means there is no any other space left for my content, because the addition of my top padding and my bottom padding must equal to the overall height of that particular element. So I'll just go and refresh my page. Let's see what happened. You can see what happened. It keeps eating from the bottom because we gave the bottom 0. So the bottom will be driving towards 0. So I'll go back now. Remember, the bottom is 0. I want to reduce it to 30. Just see what happened again. Because we said bottom is 0, it will always pick from the bottom. Bottom is 0. So we want to keep bottom that way. Then if I go back to my code now, and I'll change the top. Remember, the first one is my top. So I'm changing my top to, I'm changing the top to 0. To 20, sorry, this goes up. I want to change it back to 10. I want this guy to, yeah, this goes up. Yeah, I think I like this height. Then I'll reduce my font. I'll reduce my font size. So I'll make this guy 14. You can see that I have it in the middle. So now I want to remember in our style. In our style, let me display the style again. Whoops, in our style, opening hour is bold, while the other ones are not as bold as opening hour. So I'll just come here. I'll just come here. Remember, I cannot do another span for opening hour because I want to just start opening hour. So I close it. Please, anytime you open a tag, the first thing you should do is close it if your editor is not closing it immediately. So I copy all my opening hour, I put it here. Yeah. This process is extremely difficult, yeah, and stressful. But it's the foundation we need to know. So when we get to Bootstrap, you just by default understand how everything works.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, BF, you want to say something?
No, I think I'll go and read it up. So I noticed that in the padding, when you added, when you use the same figure, top and bottom, the display was not the same height, really.
Yes.
Until you change the bottom to 0. So I thought it was going to be the same if I indicate 20 pixel up, 20 pixel down.
Okay. Let me just explain that here. Because when we write inside, and when we try to type inside an element, it starts from top left. Yeah, so that's 0, 0 at the last angle. So depending on the height, if my height is, if I didn't give it any, okay, let's experiment something. Yeah, Bill, thanks. Let me use that to explain something. Say, I removed my height. I don't want height again. So I'm saying, let this particular div be fluid, meaning extend to wherever I put inside the container. Yeah. See what happened now. See what happened now. You can see that my bottom padding is 0 completely.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do something. So I'm going to give this guy a height of 300. Just see what happened. If I give it a height of 300, see what happened. So every other part, yeah, flows down to the eye, flows down to the bottom, yeah. So I'll use it to explain the concept that we all need to know. So I want to remove all my padding. I'm removing all my padding. Now let's see how it happens now. So ideally, yeah, when you type or when you write a code inside an element, it starts from, let me grab this guy. It starts from the left top corner. You know, when you have your cell, it starts from 0, 0 cell. From the left top corner, that is the default value. Yeah.
Okay.
So every other thing flows down to the bottom. So if you give it an height, as long as that height, if you give 200, if I keep decreasing my height now, you see that it's going to look like it's the padding at the bottom.
Okay, so once my total padding is not equal to the height, it's smaller than the height, it will add the remaining to the bottom.
If you had the remaining to the bottom, because ideally we start from left side. So
okay, that's clear now.
Yeah, so I just use that. So now say I'm putting back my padding, then I'm removing my height. Yeah. Now that I've removed my height, you can see what happened. No more height. So if I give it the same padding, so I'm giving it the same padding, top and bottom. Where is that? Yeah, because it added this additional stuff to it. So I always need to reduce this guy. Yeah, you can see I always need to reduce that bottom because everything other things flows down there.
Okay.
So I'll make this. So now I want to style my open hours. I just want to make my open hours bold. So I'll come here and do style. If I want to make it bold, what am I supposed to do? You can either do it in two ways. If you want to do your normal HTML style, I can just wrap it around. Okay, I've done style. I'll leave this now. I can either wrap it around what we call this guy. Yeah. I'm going to body it. So that is it. That is your default HTML. You can see it's body now.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
But most of the time we discourage this because you've written it inside your HTML. Yeah, so if you want to go further styling this particular page, you need to go back to that HTML and start changing it. So we'll put it inside our style. I'll remove this guy. I'll remove this guy. I'll now come here and do style. They call it font weight. So I'll do font weight. You can see I have bold. So I'll just do bold. If I come back and refresh now, you can see it's the same thing. Nothing happened here. So I've done that for these guys. Then we have other stuff in our design. We still have delivery location. We have same day delivery, and we have phone numbers. So I'll leave that for us to just duplicate. So I can duplicate this now. You now see what happened when I duplicated the page. But my space here is not there. So let's use that to explain the concept of margin. We've done padding. Let's now do margin. Margin, you said, is outside spaces. So I want to give, I can either give the next one the margin, or I give the first one the margin. So let me go and copy the right thing that is in design. Delivery location, anywhere within Lagos. So I'll just come here and do delivery location anywhere within Lagos. So just type anywhere within Lagos. So I'll refresh my page so we can say. So now let's discuss the concept of margin. So we said we can either style the first or we style the second. So I'm just going to style the second. So if I go here now, I do margin. I want to create the space at the left side. So I do margin left. And I draw 20 pixels, for example. Let's see what happens. You can see it's all tied together now. So if I refresh this page, you can see I now have a space in between. I don't know if that is clear to everyone.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I've done that. Then I can create this page for the next one we have in the design, which is same day delivery. Orders before 2 p.m. only. So I'll just type same same day delivery, and I'll go here and do order before 2 p.m. only. I come here and refresh my page. Yeah, you guys should just bear this period here. When we go to CSS, when we go to Bootstrap, you see how simple all of this is. But if I jump start on with Bootstrap, it will all look like magic. So please here, bear this thing. I know it can be painful for some people. Just bear the thing. So you can see that. So I'll go to the next thing here, which is phone number. Where do I have my, okay, yeah, phone number. I go back to my page. I'll go phone, then I'll just put a number there. Then I'll refresh my page. Oh, I still have others. I need to remove others. So I'll show my design, then I want us to tell me what is missing. What do we think is missing here? This is the design. We want to achieve this stuff, but this is what we have. So what is missing right now?
Justification.
Yeah, justification. You see, this is just like the normal way you do your you write your Word document, you justify, right? Only that the concepts are different. Yeah, but the underlying principle are the same. So I need to bring all of these guys to the center. So let me use that to explain another concept. But because I want to do it on the entire day, so the styling is coming to this day. Yeah. So, and for this now, I cannot have. Remember, we were doing. Let me explain this. We were doing padding, and we were doing margin. Yeah, because this is inside this div now. Yeah, this is inside the blue div. I want to pad this. I want to make sure the whole of this is in the center. Yeah, I'll try and write it in CSS. But believe me, when we get to Bootstrap, everybody will be happy. So I can come here and even do, it's not margin now, it's inside here. I'll do padding. See, let me do 0 auto. Yeah, so my padding doesn't take, oh, I already have padding. Okay, see, now I think I'm sure because I've already applied padding. I've already applied padding to my div, which has my blue background. And I really want to group all of these guys together and centralize them. So ideally, what I'm going to do is create another div. Remember, we said our div span through new content. Create this div, copy what I have here. Copy what I have here and slam it here. Yeah, I'll refresh my page. Just tell me if anything. You can see nothing missing, nothing broken. Yeah.
Yep.
So I can now come to this div now and do my style. Let me do margin. I want to give this guy margin. I'll do auto. I want to see if my auto works here. Then I'll use it to explain auto. If it doesn't work, then I'll find another way around it. So my auto did not work. And I know why my auto did not work. Oh, I didn't want to explain these guys. Yeah, there is position. So my position could be absolute, my position could be center, my position could be fixed, and it could be relative. So let me use absolute. You can see what happened to my page because I'm using an absolute position here, and because the padding here was different. So I'm changing this guy to relative. You can see I'm back here. I don't want to go deep into CSS. Just let me ignore this guy. Let me do something else to solve my padding problem. So I can come here and do, I want my padding, remember top is 0. I'm not padding. I don't want to put margin on the top. I don't want to put margin on the right. I'll put 0. I don't want to put margin on the bottom. I'll put 0. So I only want to put margin on the left. So I can say left, and this is not best practice, please. Yeah, at all. But I just want to use this to achieve that. So in the coming week, we are going to dive straight into CSS. You can see that this is shifting now. Yeah. So if I come back here and I do, let me make it 50 pixels. Just observe what happens. You can see it's shifting gradually. Let me make it 100. And remember, please, yeah, you can use percentage, and I'll explain that. I'll do that now. You can see it's moving, but I don't have what I want. And like I said, this is not best practice in any way. This is just to explain all this concept. I know we've read it. I just want to practice it. So I keep doing this till I get it at the center of what I want. And remember, yeah, when we go to responsive design, we are not going to be seeing the implication of this. Okay, this looks like it's in the center, so I can make do with this. The other way I can also do this is to do it in percentage. I can say 50%, meaning 50% of all my screens size. So I come here and do 50%. You can see what happened. It slashes my screen into 2. Yeah. Let me do my annotation. Yeah, it slashes my screen into two, yeah, and it gives it a margin of 50%. That is why every other thing falls to this side, because from here to here is just half of my screen. So if I try to do responsiveness for this, it will be cutting it to the half of every screen. So that is why sometimes when we are using percentage, we really need to be careful about that. So I'll take it back to 155. And I'm going to just stop here. Yeah, and I'm going to recap what we've done. Remember, we've spent about 1.5 hours here, and we've only written one section. We've only written one section of our code. Then sometimes do not ask yourself that, oh, does that mean if I want to do the whole of this, I'm going to do it in 1 day or 2 days? Absolutely no. This takes longer because we are experimenting. I don't want to come by a book and just type exactly the way it's in a book or practice before the class. No, I just want to show us what it takes most times when we are writing code. Now, since we've done this now, to do the next page, the next div will become a lot easier because we've done the first one. We just duplicate the first one and we write whatever we want in the next one inside. So I'm just going to duplicate this. After I'm done duplicating this, I'm putting the image. I'll stop there, but we can just call it a day. Then if we have questions, we can ask we can look at the projections for the week. Yeah, that's from today to before we meet on Saturday. And people, that is why our daily catch-up is extremely very important. I know it's only 8 people. Apart from BL that just joined this call, it's only 8, yeah, about 8 or 10 people that participate every day. So from next week, if you don't give catch-up for 3 days, we just yank you off completely from all the groups. Yeah, and let's focus on people that really want to achieve something. So I'm duplicating this now. So let me just minimize my code. We can see our code our lines of code are getting more. This is how we write gradually. Before you know, you've written 500 lines of code, and you come back and pat yourself at the back. You know, so I'll just duplicate this div. So I want to increase so that I can have a lot of space. Remember, I'm duplicating the whole of this. So let me duplicate and go back and get this. If I refresh my page now, you can see I now have 2 of the pages. So I'll just come back here. I'll remove the ones I don't want. I don't want this guy to have all of this stuff. And I'll make this guy, I'll rename this guy to I can rename this guy to now. I'll remove the style for this. I'll delete the whole of these guys. I'll delete let me just delete all of these guys. If I need another div inside, so let me bring in my image. So I'll just do this. I like separating this by span just for now. So I do images. Remember, my logo is inside my images, then I'll bring in my logo. My logo will be so big, then I can style it. You can see where my logo falls to, then I can style my logo, the height. And please, here, when you are styling, for example, logo, don't give logo height and width. if you do height and width, it's going to distort the image. Is either you give, okay, so this is the same height. I'll now explain that now. I want to give this 40. You can see it's smaller, yeah? And it still kept the resolution of the image. The image still look nice. Just let me do this now. If I'm giving it a width now, yeah? Because I want it to be fit into a width. And this is more design. If I do 60, see what happened. You can see strength, because it's trying to map it into that 50. So it shrinks the image. So the best thing is I can either choose, what I do most of the time is I either map it to an height or map it to a width. So I'll just map this to an height. So I have my logo. Then I can come down here and do a span. Don't ignore all these span that we're writing up and down here. Once we go to, I'll do class and I'll call this guy search. Once we start writing bootstrap, we won't have to write span everywhere again. I just want to use this to explain the basic concepts. So this is search. How many of us touch base on form in HTML during the week? How many of us read through form during the week? Forms. My church, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, who did the game?
I did too.
Okay. Who went through form again?
I did.
Okay. Grace, did you touch form? Is Grace still on the call?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you look at form in HTML?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I looked at it.
Okay, so okay. For those that doesn't look at form, let's use this to explain a bit about forms, because now we want to work on our search. And this is 9:10. Sorry, this is like 10 minutes past 9. So I want to end in another 10 minutes so that we can get. So let's look at form. Remember, we have our form attributes. We have input, yeah. We have search box. We have select, which have options. Then we have, what do we have again? We have radio button. What do we have in the form inputs again? Form element. We have input, we have select, we have search box. Yeah, our inputs now have
Data
attributes.
list.
Yeah, we have data list. Okay, cool. So now I'm keeping it simple. So I'll just do inputs for this guy. Remember, because we are typing something visible, so the type will be what? The type will be password or text.
Text.
So the type here will be text. I like doing this, guys, closing it. So I want to do something. I'll go back to our page and refresh this page. Can we say that we now have our inputs that we can type here? But we need to style it. We need to style it to look like what we have in the design, right? So let's just style it before we now align. So I can now come to, I said I want to start with 20. So I can come here. Remember, I can do placeholder. Placeholder is what the user sees first. I can do search items. So if I come here, you are going to see search items there. But because what we have a radio, but have edges. So let's use that to explain another concept in style. I want to bring my styles down. Then I want to, who remember the attribute for cuff edges? What do we call it? Cuff edges. Who remember this style attribute? That is border radius. Yeah, that is border radius. Yeah. I'll come and do border radius. Now, remember the way we were doing margin, and we said our attribute start from left, so it's clockwise from top, right, bottom, and left. The same thing for radius. So if I do 20 pixels, for example, let's see what happens to our. You can see it's now curved, right? We now go, I can now do a width for this. Let me make this 100 pixels. So I want to increase the width. It's even smaller now. So I need to increase it to, let me do 300. So this is it. Now it's too, everything there, it's too close to the line. So I want to now give it an internal spacing. And we say when we're applying internal spacing, we are using padding. So I'll do padding 20 pixels. So do you guys think we should keep it at 20 pixels?
It's looking too big.
It's looking too big. No. So what should we do? We are reducing our padding. So I reduce my padding by half. So most time when you do designs here, this is what you look at. You most of the time have to figure things out by yourself. Creativity, you reduce, you increase, you look at it, does it match, does it fit in? If it doesn't fit in, you reduce. So I'm going to reduce again. Yeah, so I'm going to make it, let me make it 5. So I'll make it 5. Yeah, so I can make do with this. But remember, this is almost at the bottom. It's not looking really nice. I'll just style this there. We are going to call it a day. This is here. It's not really looking nice. I want this to come up a bit, probably to touch this place, so that it's at the same level with my the logo. So what I'll do is then this border, this line around it is too dark, so we can reduce it. Let's do those two. What attribute will reduce the borders? Okay, I've even said that already. So it's border. I have border, yeah. I can choose the color for my border. I want to use F2. F2 is ash. You can see my border completely went off, and I'll explain why. If you are styling your border, you have to complete the styling. I've given it the border color, yeah? I need to say, do I want it to be thin or thick? Or do I want it to be solid or dotted? So I'll make it solid, thin and dotted, yeah? You can see that I have my F1 is too light. So let me increase it. Let me just use black so that we can see. Yeah, so I'll do this. So I want to just move this up a bit so I can do, okay, let me change this now. So I can move this up by coming to inspect element. So I want to use this to explain the concept of inspect element for those that are paying attention, yeah? So this is inspect element. This is my element, yeah? If you observe, as I click, it's giving me, it's kind of putting a shadow over what I've clicked. I've clicked on my navbar, I've clicked on logo, I've clicked on search. Apparently, our search element is even outside the search span, so we need to go back to the code. We go back to the code, move the whole of this guy, and put it inside this. Then I'll refresh the page. Now, what inspect element does is give you the visibility to exactly how your page is being rendered. So now that I have everything where it's supposed to be, so I can even come here and write style. So I select an element. Yeah, once I select an element, it comes here and show me which element it is. So I want to just first, I want to move this up a bit. I can move it up in two ways. Either I give it a top. Most times this top doesn't work. Yeah. Or I just come and give it a margin. I can give a margin top. Yeah. Remember, we said something when we were discussing padding, that you don't give a negative padding. So let's confirm if we can give a negative padding, a negative margin. So I do this guy. I'll go outside. Yeah, and nothing happens. Any style I write in here happens real time. If I try to style this, it happens real time. So this, nothing is happening. So I can't give a negative padding on a spine. Yeah, so I want to give margin bottom. For example, I want to make it 20 pixels. You can see that nothing happened on the spine. Because I'm working from the spine, yeah, nothing is happening on this particular spine because the elements that I'm having inside actually fill up all spine. So now I want to place this attributes on the element. So if I come back here and do margin, I want to do margin margin bottom, and I will do 10 or 30 pixels. Yeah. And still nothing happened on this. But if you observe, see where my see, it's telling me that I have the padding, the margin outside of this element, but it's not moving this particular element because the element is inside of the spine. So I'm going to experiment again with my margin top. You can see it's telling me I have 30 margin top here. So I'll give it negative value. Do we observe anything? Do we observe anything? My check.
Yeah.
You observe that it actually moved everything, including my logo upstairs. Yeah. So this is to tell you that when you are styling your page and you have an element inside of the span that is not text, if this element, remember when we were inside this span, what we had there were text, so it's easier for you to do margin left, margin right, and all of those things. But you have an element inside the span. A span in itself is supposed to just take text elements. You are not supposed to be putting any other elements that are not text inside the span. Yeah. Other elements that are not text are supposed to come inside of a div, and that is why we are having this particular bug right now. But I'm going to leave this as it is. Then we'll fix it when we go deep dive into it, CSS. Yep. I have just 2 more minutes to round up. So now this is our design. Realize we are still very far. We've spent about 2 hours now, and we are not even close to getting our design right. Yeah, because we are explaining and we are writing, we are debugging, and all of those things. So this is just the simple process of how you write your HTML. Now, I know for some people it's extremely elementary. Just bear with me, yeah? And for some people, it's not as elementary as it is. For those that is not as elementary, just please catch up. For those that is too elementary, I think you should just keep digging into more advanced stuff, and we're going to catch up with it. I would like to end today's class. I don't want it to be more than 9 o'clock, ideally. So I would like to end today's class here. I don't know if you have any question, any concern that we need to talk about before we, Akram is going to put the next class or the next read of materials on the channel. Do we have any concern, any questions we want to clarify?
Thank you very much, Sam. This has been an insightful session. I really enjoyed it, although I joined in a bit late. Yes. So I have a question, right, which was concerning the workout that I posted yesterday. So from the How the Web Works page, I searched for I got the IP address, then I pasted it in my browser, but then it kept giving me this 403 error. So how do I resolve it?
Which IP address is that?
The IP address for How the Web Works.
Okay, don't worry. Wait, let's do it now. I wanted to say let's take it outside this, but I just thought probably some other people might be interested in the conversation. So I'll just solve it. So apart from that, that's the only challenge you're having here.
Presently. Every other thing I seem to understand, I'll just put to practice and execute.
Please, I have a question concerning the span, the later part.
Okay. What is the question?
Oh, when you were like that, if a span that inline to move it up together about nesting, like I didn't really get the last part.
Okay, yeah. So so what I'm trying to illustrate there is this. You know, I've been using Spine for almost everything we've been doing. So I'm saying it's okay. I'll just demonstrate again. It's easier for you when you are trying to do padding and you have a text within a spine, yeah, or the margin of that text, it responds to it. But if you have another element, for example, I'm putting my input element inside of the spine. So if you apply margin to that spine, it's not going to work. Yeah, because your input element best practice should be inside of a div. So it's easier for you to style and move around and give a structure. That's what I'm trying to explain. I don't know if it answers your question. Does that
I also have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question. My question is for if the doc type HTML, the first line of the code, if it's not written there, will the browser automatically interpret it as HTML5 even if it's not written there?
Yeah, you can experiment that. Yes. As long as the extension is .html. If the extension of the file is .html, it's going to read it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other questions or any other thing we need to talk about? So I want to paste that file here. how the web works. I want to know the IP, because if you access an IP that doesn't exist, did you just copy an IP from here?
No.
Sure.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went into the IP checker, right? The IP web checker page.
Where is IP checker?
Yeah, just there, just inside that section for DNS explain.
Okay, you went here.
Yeah, so I clicked on another one, the IP checker. I clicked on the IP checker first, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
You put in a domain name here.
Yes, I put the domain name of that website, of the how the web works. Then I checked.
Well, which domain name do you put? How the web works is, let me go back here.
That's the what's the name again?
Yeah. Oh, I know. So you come here, you put that is yeah, okay. I'll explain this one to you now. It's kind of some more advanced stuff here. So you copied developer.mozilla, yeah?
Yes.
You copied developer.mozilla. Yeah, you put it here.
Mozilla.org. Yes. Yes.
You now got an IP.
Yeah.
There's the IP. Yeah. So you got this IP here. You copied this setting.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's the mistake I made, because I just copied the full URL of the page.
No. You can't copy the full URL of that page. Yeah. Then I will explain. You copied the full URL of this page. The full URL of this page is not an IP.
Okay.
You get. Let me explain this, guys. I'll just paste this guy in my code here. Then I'll use it to explain something so that you can get that. Now, if you observe this, yeah, if you observe that on this code, I have HTTPS. Do we all know what HTTPS is?
Yes.
Okay. No, it's a communication protocol. Yeah. HTTPS is a communication protocol. So with the S, it has the secure communication protocol, HTTP protocol. It has an SSL. So you have HTTP. Now, this developer here is a resource on the server. This Mozilla.org itself is the server. Yeah.
Okay.
Then every other thing at the back, ENUS/. So this is now inside ENUS, which is a resource. Inside ENUS, I have a doc, which is another resource. Inside docs, I have another resource called learning. See, it's like I open a folder called Mozilla.org. Inside Mozilla.org, I open another folder called EN-US. Inside EN-US, I opened another folder called docs. Inside docs, I open another folder called learn. And inside learn, I now open another folder that is called get learning. You understand? So that is the part. So in itself, you should track the IP to this place. Not the whole URL. Yeah, you should be able to get the IP from there. Then again, IP from websites like this, yeah, you might not be able to access them directly on the mobile. Because, for example, if you put your application behind a load balancer, yeah, everything already mapped that load balancers to services that can access the IP. So if you go directly, you might not be able to access that server. Those are for security reasons. But if you copy just this, you should get an IP for it. It's going to give you the IP, and that is why I have the IP address of this guy. So for this guy, if I copy it and put it on my URL, you can see what you are having. You are always going to be having 403. Because the probability is high that IP is behind
a firewall.
Yeah, the firewall, which is practically what we call load balancer in cloud computing. Yep. And
Okay.
you can know that it's hosted in CloudFront, AWS CloudFront. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other concerns?
No, none at all. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm
Sir,
sorry. Yeah, go
sir,
ahead.
I also have another question. I don't know if the answer to it has been provided, if the information has been given out already. Is there what's the editor? Is there a recommended editor for this
No,
course?
no recommended editor. Me, I use JetBrains. I use all JetBrains products for all my programming language. Web for HTML, I use Web Storm. For C Sharp, I use Radar. You can use Visual Studio. For PHP, I use WebStorm. For Python, I use PyCharm. So there is no use whatever is convenient for you, as long as it's working for you. Don't let anybody box you into a specific GUI. Use anyone that is convenient. Yeah.
Understood, sir.
Okay, cool. Yeah, any other question? I think we should call it a day. Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone. We are going to send the content for this week. Please, let's catch up with everything that we need to learn for this week. Remember, I said this is more of a mentoring program. Do it yourself. You come on Saturday, we trash it. And I believe next Saturday is going to be a better class than this year. But the truth is, I'm not going to be writing scripts or going to be writing any tutorial for this. We just come, we just read practical as it is, then ask again. So we're going to be dropping all that stuff. Please, please, and please. I want everybody to be self-motivated. Yeah, I know this is absolutely free, so you don't have anything to pay, but I just needed 10 people. That was my initial plan. I just needed 10 very, very serious people that I can help to achieve their dream as a software engineer. Extremely serious and passionate about software engineering. Thank you, everyone. Let's be more interactive on the platform, and let's ask questions if you have any issue. So I'll send the design again, we've partitioned up into the group. I want us to use the rest of the day and tomorrow to see what we can come up with. Anything you come up with, do the screenshot and share it on the group, right? Okay, thank you, people.
Would the video be available for us, like to study after the class?
Yeah, the video will be available.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, excuse me. I wanted to ask you, will there be a recording of this video after? A recording of this session?
Yes,
Yeah?
there's a recording. There's a recording.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, people. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Next Saturday should be a better class. All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot.
much.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you too for your session.
Thanks.